The spaceship EUS Vanguard floated quietly in the darkness of space. The ship's crew did their usual work when a large dot appeared on their radar screen. The dot grew bigger and soon turned into another spaceship, but this one looked very different from any they had seen before. Captain Kevin Walsh stood on the bridge of his ship. He watched as the strange ship came closer. It was his job to keep his crew safe, but also to make new friends for Earth if he could. "Sir, the other ship is trying to talk to us," said Amy Brown. She worked with the ship's radio and computer systems. The computer began to change the alien words into words they could understand. A rough voice came through the speakers. "I am Commander Clarthel from the Zarkax Empire. Stop your ship. We will test you now." Kevin looked at his friend and helper Linda Carter. They both knew this was big news. This was the first time humans had met aliens who could talk to them. Kevin had to be careful about what he said next. "Turn on our radio," Kevin said. "This is Captain Kevin Walsh from Earth. We want to be friends and talk with you peacefully." The alien ship was very close now. They could see it clearly on their big screen. It was dark and covered in marks and dents. It had many guns on it. It was clear this ship was made for fighting. "Talk peacefully." The alien commander sounded surprised. "Where are your warships? Don't you bring protection when you travel in space?" "We can protect ourselves," Kevin said carefully, "but we like to talk first. Earth people believe in solving problems by talking." The alien commander laughed. It was not a nice laugh. "Just talking? We have traveled in space for hundreds of years. We have never met anyone who acts like this." Peter Collins, who helped the captain talk to other people, stepped forward. "Captain, may I say something?" Kevin nodded yes. Peter spoke to the aliens. "Commander Xarthol, we learned from our past that being strong means knowing when not to fight." Suddenly, the alien ship turned on its weapons. Red lights began flashing on the Vanguard's bridge. Lisa Martinez watched her screen carefully, ready to turn on their shields if needed. "Your weapons are not ready to fire," Xarthol said. "Either you are very smart or very stupid. We will find out which. We are coming to your ship. We want to learn why you think this way." Kevin told Lisa to stay ready but calm. "We would like to meet you, Commander. Our ship is ready for your visit." When the aliens stopped talking, Michelle Bennett looked at her computer screen. She studied alien life forms. "Captain," she said, "these aliens come from creatures that were hunters. Their whole life might be about fighting and being strong." Kevin thought about this. "Then we need to show them why humans chose to be different. Tell the doctor and security to get ready for visitors. And get me Earth on the radio. They need to know about this." As everyone got ready, Kevin watched the alien ship. The Zarkax were going to learn something important. They would learn why humans, even though they could fight well, chose not to. Like Peter always said, the ones who live the longest are not the strongest or the most fierce, but the ones who can change and learn new ways. Soon they would know if the aliens would see humans as wise or weak for wanting peace. The small room on the Vanguard filled with a bright blue light. 3 tall aliens appeared. They had dark gray skin that looked like armor, and they were almost 7 feet tall. Commander Xarthol stood in front, his yellow eyes scanning everything. Captain Kevin Walsh stepped forward to meet them. "Welcome to the Vanguard," he said calmly. Peter Collins stood next to him, and 4 security guards waited quietly by the walls. Xarthol made a sound like a growl. "Your welcome means nothing without proof of strength. We have watched many Earth ships. You explore, you trade, you help others. But where are your battles? Where are your wars?" "We chose to leave most of our wars in the past," Peter said. He held up a small device. "But we can show you why, if you want to know." The second alien stepped forward. "I am Scout Leader Valtak. You speak as if war is a choice. War is life. War is growth. War is power." Lisa Martinez, who had come down from the bridge, spoke up. "War is waste. War is death. We learned this many times. The third alien, who wore many medals, laughed. Then you are weak. The weak do not survive in space. Many dangers wait in the dark between stars. How do you face them without war? Let us show you, Kevin said. He pointed to a door. We have prepared our meeting room. There we can show you Earth's history. Then you will understand. The aliens followed them to a large room with a round table. On the walls, screens came to life, showing pictures of Earth. This is how we were, Peter said. He pressed a button. The screen showed old pictures of tanks, planes, and soldiers. We fought many wars, big wars that covered the whole world. The aliens watched with interest as the images changed. They saw cities destroyed by bombs. They saw soldiers hurt and dying. They saw families running from fighting. You were proper warriors then, Exarthal said, sounding pleased. What changed? Why did you become soft? Kevin shook his head. We didn't become soft. We became wise. He turned to Michelle Bennett, who had just entered the room. Doctor, show them the numbers. Michelle touched her screen. Numbers and charts filled the air in front of them. These show what war cost us. How many people died? How many homes were lost? How much was destroyed that we had to rebuild? But you won these wars, yes? Valtak asked. Victory is worth any cost. We learned there are no real winners in war, Lisa said. Even the side that wins loses too much. We found better ways to be strong. Zarthal's eyes narrowed. You speak of strength, but I see none. I challenge you, Captain Walsh. Show us your war power. Prove humans are not just weak creatures hiding behind pretty words. The room got very quiet. Kevin looked at the alien commander. When he spoke, his voice was firm but calm. Commander, you just gave us the perfect chance to show you why we avoid war. We will not accept your challenge. You refuse. Exarthal's voice rose in anger. This is proof of weakness. No, Kevin said. This is proof of what we've been telling you. We could fight. Every person on this ship is trained for battle. Our ship has weapons that could match yours. But we choose not to use them. That choice is our strength. The aliens looked confused. It was clear they had never met anyone who thought this way before. Their meeting was far from over, and the hardest part was still to come. Commander Zarthal paced around the meeting room, his heavy steps making soft thuds on the floor. The screen still showed pictures of Earth's old wars, but now Peter Collins was showing something new. These are our archives, Peter said. He touched a screen, and a big room full of computers appeared. We keep all our history here, every war, every battle, every lesson we learned. Scout leader Valtak moved closer to the screen. You keep records of your defeats. We only record victories. We keep everything, Lisa Martinez said. The good and the bad. That's how we learn. Michelle Bennett brought up new pictures. They showed a green field with rows of white stones. This is a war graveyard, she said. We have many of these on Earth. Each stone marks a soldier who died. The third alien, Battle Master Krelzak, counted the stones in the picture. So many dead from one battle. This must have been glorious. There was no glory, Kevin said quietly. Only death and pain. But we can show you better than we can tell you. He looked at Peter. Show them the memory records. Peter pulled out a small silver box. This is special technology we made. It lets people share memories and feelings. Would you like to see what war really feels like? The aliens looked at each other. Zarthal nodded slowly. Yes. Show us these memories of war. Show us your warrior spirit. Lisa worked with some controls on the wall. The lights in the room got lower. Peter put the silver box on the table, and it started to glow. These are real memories from real soldiers, Peter explained. From one of Earth's biggest wars. Are you ready? The aliens stood straight and proud. We are warriors. We are always ready, Krelzak said. The silver box sent out a soft light that filled the room. Suddenly, they weren't in the meeting room anymore. They were in a muddy field. The sound of big guns filled the air. The ground shook. This was called World War II, Kevin's voice said in the darkness. One of the worst wars humans ever fought. The aliens watched as young soldiers ran across the field. Many fell and didn't get up again. They heard the screams of the hurt. They felt the fear and pain of the soldiers. Enough, Hexarthal shouted after a while. The memory stopped. The alien commander was breathing hard. This is not glorious battle. This is war, Lisa said. Real war. Not the stories people tell after. Not the proud songs or pretty speeches. Just people killing people. Valtak looked troubled. But surely there are better ways to fight now. Your weapons are better. Cleaner. Michelle shook her head. Better weapons just means more death. Faster death. Would you like to see those memories too? The aliens were quiet for a long time. Finally, Exarthal spoke. You said you keep all records. Show us how it ended. Show us what happened to the winners. Peter touched the silver box again. New memories filled the room. They showed cities destroyed by bombs. People with no homes. Children crying for missing parents. The winners? Kevin said. They went home to broken cities. To families that would never be whole again. To nightmares that lasted years. That's what winning a war means. The aliens watched everything without speaking. Their proud faces started to show something new. Something that looked like understanding. Maybe even a little fear. We have more to show you, Peter said. Much more. Would you like to see what happened when we finally learned our lesson? Commander Carthol sat down heavily in one of the chairs. His yellow eyes had lost some of their fierce glow. The memory sharing had changed something in him and the other aliens. You said you learned a lesson, he said slowly. What lesson did humans learn from all this death? Kevin nodded to Michelle Bennett. She stepped forward and waved her hand over the table. A new image appeared, showing the Earth from space. After the big wars, she said, our world was hurt badly. The air was dirty. Many places were too dangerous to live in. People were angry and scared. We had to choose, keep fighting and maybe destroy everything, or find a new way. Scout leader Valtak leaned forward. And you chose to become weak. Lisa Martinez stood up. No, we chose to become smart. Look at this. She touched a button on her screen. The image changed to show spaceships being built. We took all the money and time we used to spend on wars and used it for this instead. Spaceships, Battlemaster Krulzak asked. But these are not warships. They're better, Peter said. These ships let us explore, learn new things, find new places to live, help people who need help. The aliens watched as more images appeared. They saw humans building cities in space, making friends with other species, fixing broken planets and helping them grow food again. This is what we did instead of war, Kevin explained. We learned how to build things instead of break them, how to help instead of hurt, how to make life better instead of ending it. Zarthol stood up and walked to the window. He looked out at the stars. But there are dangerous things in space, bad things that want to hurt others. How do you stay safe without fighting? We can still fight, Lisa said. Every human ship has weapons. Every crew knows how to use them. But they're not our first choice anymore, or our second, or our third. Michelle brought up new pictures. They showed the Vanguard's weapons. See these. They're strong enough to fight your ship, but we'd rather talk. Rather be friends. It takes more strength to make peace than to make war. Battlemaster Krulzak shook his head. Our people would not understand this. They believe strength comes from battle. Then maybe they need to learn what we learned, Peter said quietly. He held up the silver box again. Would you like to see what happened when we first tried to make peace with our worst enemies? The aliens looked at each other. Valtak spoke first. Show us how peace can be stronger than war. The silver box glowed again. This time, the memories showed something different. They showed old enemies meeting to talk, showed them working together to fix what they had broken, showed them becoming friends. "This is the power humans found," Kevin said. "The power to turn enemies into friends, to turn hate into help, to turn war into peace." Commander Carthol turned away from the window. His face looked different now, softer, more thoughtful. "My people have fought for so long," he said. "We forgot there might be another way." "There's always another way," Lisa said. "Would you like us to show you how to find it?" For the first time since they arrived, the aliens didn't look fierce or proud. They looked like people who were starting to see things in a new way. But everyone knew the hardest part was still ahead. The part where they had to decide what to do with what they had learned. The next day, Commander Garthol and his fellow aliens met with the human crew again. They had spent the night on their own ship, thinking about everything they had seen. Now they were back, and they had questions. "If your way is so good," Garthol said, "why do you still have weapons? Why train for battle at all?" Kevin walked over to a big screen on the wall. "Because space is big, and not everyone is friendly. But look at this." He pressed some buttons, and the screen showed the Vanguard's weapons. "See how our weapons work." Battlemaster Krulzak studied the screen carefully. "These are strange weapons. They don't look very powerful." Lisa smiled. "That's because most of them don't kill. They stop ships without hurting them. They protect us without destroying others." Michelle brought up more pictures. They showed the Vanguard helping other ships. "In the past 10 years, we used our weapons 3 times. But we helped 247 ships that were in trouble." "Help is better than fight," Peter added. "When you help others, they remember. They become friends. Friends help each other." Valtak looked confused. "But what about honor? What about glory in battle?" "We found a different kind of honor," Kevin said. He touched another button. New pictures appeared, showing humans getting medals and awards. "These people are honored for saving lives, for finding new things, for making peace between enemies." The aliens watched as more images appeared. They saw humans rushing into danger to save others. They saw them sharing food with hungry people. They saw them teaching other species how to grow food and build homes. "This is true strength," Lisa said. "Anyone can destroy things. It's much harder to build them. Much harder to help others build them too." Suddenly, alarms started ringing. Amy Brown's voice came through the speakers. "Captain, 3 Zarkax battleships just appeared. They're asking for Commander Xarthul." The aliens looked worried. Xarthul's face got hard again. "These are ships from our war fleet. They followed us. They think we are taking too long to test your strength." Kevin stayed calm. "What will you tell them, Commander?" "They will want to fight," Xarthul said. "They will not understand talking in memories and helping others." Peter stepped forward. "Then maybe we should show them what we showed you. Let them see the memories. Let them learn what you learned." The commander looked at his 2 friends. They all seemed to be thinking hard. Finally, Xarthul turned to Kevin. "You say humans are strong because they choose not to fight. Now we will see if this is true." He touched a button on his arm, and a radio came on. "This is Commander Xarthul to the war fleet. The humans have shown us something important, something you need to see. Come to their ship. Learn what we have learned." Everyone waited. The radio was quiet for a long time. Then a rough voice answered. "You speak strangely, Commander. These humans have changed you with their weak words." "No," Xarthul said. "They have shown me what real strength is. Come and see. I challenge you to be brave enough to learn something new." The radio went quiet again. On the big screen, they could see the 3 battleships floating in space. Everyone waited to see what would happen next. Would the war fleet choose to learn about peace, or would they choose to fight? The 3 Zarkax battleships moved closer to the Vanguard. They were bigger than Commander Xarthel's ship, and their weapons were already turned on. Everyone on the Vanguard watched and waited. War Fleet Commander Zexkar demands to speak with you, Amy Brown said from her station. He sounds angry. Kevin nodded. Put him on the screen. A new alien face appeared. This one had more scars than Xarthel, and his yellow eyes seemed to burn with anger. What magic have you humans used on our testing team? He growled. They speak of peace like weak creatures. Xarthel stepped forward. No magic, Warfleet Commander. Only truth. Let me show you what we have seen. Truth. Zexkar laughed. It was an ugly sound. The truth is that humans are weak. They hide behind pretty words instead of fighting. Kevin walked up next to Xarthel. We don't hide, he said calmly. We choose. Every day, we choose not to fight. Would you like to know why? The Warfleet Commander's face got even angrier. You tried to trick us with words. Prove your strength in battle. No, Kevin said. His voice was still calm, but now it was firm too. We will not fight you, but we will show you something more important than fighting. Lisa Martinez had been working quietly at her station. Now she looked up. Captain, they're moving their ships into attack position. Peter Collins stepped forward. Warfleet Commander, before you attack, ask yourself this. Why are you so afraid to learn something new? The alien commander's angry face changed for a moment. He looked surprised. Afraid? We fear nothing. Then prove it, Commander Xarthel said. Be brave enough to come aboard. Be strong enough to see what we saw, unless you're scared of memories and knowledge. The other two members of the testing team joined in. Yes, Battle Master Krulzak said. Show the same courage in learning that you show in battle. The Warfleet Commander was quiet for a long time. The weapons on his ships were still pointed at the Vanguard. Finally, he spoke again. You challenge my courage. Yes, Valtak said. This is a different kind of battle. A harder one. Are you strong enough for it? More silence. Everyone could feel how important this moment was. Then Zexkar made an angry sound. Very well. I will come see these things that have made warriors speak of peace, but my ships will stay ready to fight. Kevin smiled a little. That's fine. Our weapons will stay turned off. That's our choice, remember. The aliens from the war fleet came to the Vanguard in a small ship. They walked into the meeting room looking angry and proud. But Kevin and his crew weren't worried. They had seen this before, just days ago with Xarthel and his team. Show them, Xarthel said quietly. Show them what humans know about war. Show them why peace is harder than fighting. Show them what real strength looks like. Peter picked up the silver memory box. The room got dark, and once again, the humans got ready to show their visitors why they chose to avoid war. 3 days had passed since the war fleet commanders saw the memories. The Vanguard and the Zarkak ships still floated together in space, but things were very different now. Warfleet Commander Zexkar stood by the window in the meeting room. He hadn't spoken much since seeing the memories of Earth's wars. Now he turned to face Kevin and the others. All my life, he said slowly, I thought strength meant fighting, winning, destroying enemies. He touched the scars on his face. Each scar was a mark of honor. But now you see there are different kinds of strength, Lisa said gently. Yes, Zexkar looked at the other Zarkak's commanders. We have fought so many battles, won so many wars. But what have we built? What have we made better? Commander Xarthel stepped forward. That's why humans are strong in a different way. They build things, help people, make friends instead of enemies. Kevin walked over to the main screen. And we'd like to be your friends too, he said. Look at this. He showed pictures of Earth ships and Zarkak ships working together. This is what could be. The aliens watched as more pictures appeared. They saw their powerful ships helping to build space stations, their strong warriors teaching others how to grow food on new planets. They're clever minds helping to solve problems instead of making them. This is possible, one of the war fleet officers asked. Our people would accept this. Why not? Peter said. You followed your commanders into war. Why wouldn't they follow you into peace? Michelle brought up some numbers on another screen. Look at this, she said. These numbers show how much the Zarkaks spend on war. Now look at what those same resources could do if used differently. The aliens studied the numbers carefully. They saw how many homes they could build, how many hungry people they could feed, how many new worlds they could explore. It would not be easy, Zexkar said. Many of our people still believe in the old ways. Change is never easy, Kevin agreed. But you've already shown you're strong enough for hard things. Are you strong enough for this? The war fleet commanders talked among themselves in their own language. Finally, Zexkar turned back to the humans. We have made a decision, he said. We will take what we have learned back to our people. We will show them these memories. Tell them what we have seen. Try to help them understand. And if they don't understand, Lisa asked, then we will be patient. Fulf said. Just as humans were patient with us. We will show them again and again until they learn, as we did. Kevin smiled. That's real strength, he said. The strength to be patient, to teach instead of force, to wait for understanding. The aliens prepared to leave the Vanguard. But before they left, Zexkar had one more thing to say. We came to test your strength, he said. We thought you were weak because you avoided war. Now we understand. It takes more strength to make peace than to make war, more courage to help than to hurt, more wisdom to build than to break. As the alien ships moved away from the Vanguard, Kevin and his crew watched them go. They had done something important here. They had shown another species why humans chose to avoid war. Not because they were weak, but because they had found a better kind of strength. Do you think they'll succeed? Peter asked. Will they be able to change their whole society? They're strong enough, Kevin said. And now they know that the strongest choice of all is choosing not to fight when you don't have to. The Vanguard turned back to its original course, continuing its mission of peaceful exploration. Behind them, the Zarkak ships headed home, carrying with them a new understanding of what true strength really meant.